Shakia, it's your boy Fist in the his house. It's the weekend. Modern Warfare 2. I know you missed it. I know you missed the old Call of Duties. I know you missed them. And I'm not sitting here crying about it, going, yeah, let's go back to the old Call of Duties. Let's go back. I'm not even about that. What I am about is taking what was great about Call of Duty and making a serious part 2 to any of the 10 franchises you released in the last 8 years. There's no serious part 2 to Call of Duty 4. There's no serious part 2 to Modern Warfare 2. If you look at the design and the philosophy of the game and everything that's implemented in this game, every single Call of Duty is completely different from the last Call of Duty. And if you look at every Call of Duty that's ever been made, from United States sales, from the Xbox to the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, it's a downward trend. You look at it, it's gone down, at least once it happened to Modern Warfare 2, went down 7 million from the next unit. And ever since, I think it was Black Ops 2, it's gone down 2 million units. And then we hit the Xbox One, we're 1.1 million. Now, you want to go and check out my Fist 2 channel. And I'm going to show you on the Fist 2 channel when there was 1.1 million people. At one time, it reached 2 million concurrent users on the Xbox 360 alone that were gaming. I'll leave that link in the description below. But the point that I'm trying to make to you here is that because of how much change from each game, you realize how much people leave the game. And they're sitting here trying to sell you, oh, it's Call of Duty, it's a different game, but we're going to throw the Call of Duty name on it. You're like, what happened? I just want a military first-person shooter. You look at how crazy this is. You look at Black Ops 2. I'm going to give you an example. Black Ops 2 this year has sold more than Ghost has sold on the Xbox One. 1.2, 1.3. What does that tell you? It's not because Black Ops 2 is a great game. It's because people miss modern combat game with kill streaks. What made Call of Duty great? What was the first thing that they had in there? Helicopter, UAV, and airstrike or whatever. And they just pronounced on it in the next generations of games. But then you got to the point where we implemented the 10-point system, and then it's been morphed into something that's not even Call of Duty, and then it's been shoved into an EXO 10-point system suit. That's not Call of Duty. Call of Duty, let me remind you what Call of Duty is. It is a military shooter. If you have a problem with the name Modern Warfare, just change it to Urban Combat or Military Combat, whatever. It's a first-person shooter. You cannot change a game. You don't see actors coming on the scene and be like, hey, I'm a method actor or a drama actor, and it's just changed midstream. Tom Cruise is known for a certain way of acting, and that's it. He got famous, and that's what people want to see. And etc., etc., etc. You can use any example on anything. We can use a damn pizza. A pepperoni pizza is not going to change its stripes. It is what it is. And people are going to eat pepperoni pizza because that's what they like. Now, whether you have really salty sausage or pepperonis and bad greasy cheese, yeah, it's a different story. Deep pan, thin pan, whatever. But you don't change. You just improve on the formula of what you have. So when you look at games like this, you look at the F2000. Yeah. It was a terrible gun, and it wasn't that great. But the uniqueness of it, and the strangeness of it, and the individual weirdness of that scope is what made you want to use that gun. It was exciting. We don't get that no more. We get some crazy-ass point system that has nothing to do with anything, and it totally kills the game. You know, it totally throws you off. It is like adding an extra arm on your forehead. Just picture this. Just think if all the babies started to be born with arms hanging out their forehead. Society would freak out. You know, it takes millions and millions and millions of years for your pinky toe to no longer be relevant on your foot. Like, that's going to happen maybe 100 million more years. Like, you'll be born with 4 fingers on your four toes on your foot because you don't need your pinky toe. It's irrelevant. It's just there. We probably had tails in the past, but it's gone. You see the improvement in how slow it took? And I don't want to hear this excuse like, well, if this, you got to change things, people aren't going to buy it. No. Improve on what you already have. You know, you look at the Xbox One, and now they're talking about advanced warfare. These guys are talking, Glenn Schofield and Eric Heisberg and Michael Condrey, and all those guys from Sledgehammer and Activision CEO are talking about they're primarily making advanced warfare for the Xbox One and the PS4. You know, what is the worst part about this is that the new maps come on the Xbox One first, or the Xbox. But what you're forgetting to realize is that there is a bigger Call of Duty contingency of patrons on the PS4 than there is on the Xbox One. If Black Ops 2 is selling 1.2 million and Call of Duty Ghosts, a brand new franchised game, can't beat a previous military shooter as to what you were supposed to be, and Black Ops 2 is terrible. Black Ops 2 is probably the worst Call of Duty ever made. Head glitches every 5 steps. The snipers are exempt from the total weapon balance system. And this whole idea of taking bullet dancing and David Vonderhaar's idea of bullet dancing and taking more bullets to fight people, puts more balance in the game is ridiculous. It promotes more camping, if anything. I just don't understand it. And and the people that are playing Black Ops 2, you got to realize you're not playing this game at its peak. When you're playing that game, when Black Ops 2 was at its peak, go look at all my old videos. I got tons and tons and tons of... I did like 1,000 videos as to why that game was messed up. And I was playing it at the peak of its apex of power when everybody was playing it. When everybody was playing that game, I showed you what was wrong with it. Yeah, of course it's okay now because you ain't got all the retards on that game. When you get the mass populations on any game, they find the worst ways to play this game. And we had plenty of times to fix it and they didn't. But that's not even the point there. The point is that people would rather go back and play a shitty-ass game like Black Ops 2 that is a modern military shooter than play Ghosts and buy a new console. I don't even know what type of people are on the Xbox One. They're not casual, super casual, and they're not super hardcore. I don't even know what they are. They're fickle. They're like the most fickle crowd there is. They won't even buy that Call of Duty Ghost game. And then you're going to make Advanced Warfare primarily for the Xbox One, which only has 2.8 million units in the United States? Where is your revenue going to come from? And you're releasing the new maps on the Xbox One instead of the PS4? Ridiculous. That means that Call of Duty sold 5 million units on the Xbox 360. 2 million units down from its last predecessor. Now you're telling me that you're going to base all your sales on the next Xbox One. You think it's going to... They're only selling 100,000 units a month. So what are you saying? You're only going to sell like 3.3 million? You're saying that every person on the Xbox One is going to buy it and you're going to drop down 2 million sales. I'm not even looking at old consoles. Those are irrelevant. They're not even looking at old consoles. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this commentary and you see some insight to what I'm saying. You're shooting yourself in the foot. It's a huge mistake. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.